Hey, it's me, the girl from the thumbnail, and here's my list of all the Mega Man games ranked from worst to best. You think they'll buy it? Ironically, Mega Man 11 is my 11th favorite Mega Man game, and I'm being generous with the word favorite. I've never liked the visual style of this game, even before playing it, and it took me 7.5 years to finally get around to it, though I did play the demo back in 2018. However, I did have a feeling that after playing it, the game would probably grow on me. Not only is the game hard as balls, but the levels are long as Hardman's dong. Although it sounds like most of the Mega Man fan base is on board with those aspects of the game. I played on normal difficulty, but if you're not looking to Kermit sewer slide, I suggest one of the two easier difficulties. The double gear system, which was introduced in this game, is kind of a double-edged sword. The pros are they tried something new, and the slowdown feature was the only thing that got me through certain parts of the game. And the cons are, it's just too complicated. I only want 2 buttons in my Mega Man games: jump and shoot. Back to the graphics though. The character models look like Fisher-Price toys, but I did think it was cool that your whole outfit changes for each power instead of just the color palette. One thing I do like about this game is the bosses. They tend to show up in other Mega Man properties more often than typical Mega Man bosses. I feel like I see Gutsman and Cutman on everything, whether it's cartoons, arcade games, or merchandise, you name it. But yeah, there's something kind of cool about the simplicity of the original bosses. What's not cool is the simplicity of the stages visually. They're pretty boring compared to the rest of the series. The game's difficulty isn't the hardest necessarily, but the way the game works can be weird sometimes. Like if a platform disappears beneath your feet, you fall at the speed of light. Also, there's enemies in the boss hallways. When I went back to play this game for my list, I was sure that this was going to make my top 5. The game introduces Rush and Proto Man. The Wily Castle brings back the bosses from Mega Man 2, and it's the perfect combination of being able to slide without having the charge shot. I just don't love holding B the whole game while also listening to the annoying charge up noise. Well, the boss themes are too boring, the boss fights are too hard, Top Man's power is stupid, and I have PTSD from playing Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy as a kid, which featured 4 of the bosses from this game. So that ends up leaving Mega Man 3 as my 3rd least favorite Mega Man game.
Sorry.
I remember playing this game around the time it came out and thinking how cool it was that the game looks like an NES game. You can't slide or charge your Buster with Mega Man, but you can do those things with Proto Man, who becomes playable for the first time in the mainline series. You can also block projectiles with a shield. Also, the game's too hard. I like the boss themes in Mega Man 4 a lot more than Mega Man 3. 4 also introduces a few new level gimmicks into the series, but the biggest change is it introduces the charge shot. It's too hard though.
Sorry.
It's like 9 except easier, and you can play as Bass in addition to Mega Man and Proto Man, and also people like 9 a lot more except for me. Also it has Sheep Man.
Wake up, sheeple. It's time to understand that we're all being controlled.
Alright, we finally made it to the top 5, starting with Mega Man 5. It's like 4 except easier, aka funner. Enemies drop tons of health pickups, ammo, and extra lives. It also introduces Beat, who can be unlocked by collecting all of the letters to spell out Mega Man 5 throughout the levels. Like Mega Man 4, this game introduces new level gimmicks, with Gravity Man's level being the most unique of these. Depending which way the arrows in the background point, Mega Man will either be pulled down to the floor or up to the ceiling. I guess its main flaw is that it doesn't feel like it brings too much new to the table, aside from the couple of things that I mentioned. In the same way that I thought Mega Man 3 was going to be in my top 5, I was sure that this one would be in my bottom 5. The screen real estate feels so crunched compared to the other games, it kind of reminds me of the Game Boy Mega Man games. It even splits the bosses into 2 sections like the Game Boy games. Well, imagine my surprise when this ended up being one of my favorite games for this list. The visuals and music just have that really solid Super Nintendo style, and it actually feels really good to play. The difficulty of the boss fights just feels right to me, and this also seems to be the first time bass shows up in a game. One thing that really stuck out to me was the inclusion of a Halloween themed level for Shade Man. And that's the only time I can think of that type of thing being in a Mega Man game. It kind of made me think of Castlevania or Ghosts and Goblins, which leaves it feeling pretty unique. This is another one that I didn't expect to end up this high on the list before revisiting it, because I remember not being able to make it very far as a kid. Though I'm not crazy about the boss themes, the levels look super nice. Being a late release in the NES's lifespan, it seems to make the most out of the hardware graphically. It came out 2 months after Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo here in the States, if you can believe that. In this game, when you unlock Rush upgrades, Rush becomes part of Mega Man's armor, giving him a chargeable punch and a jetpack at the cost of not being able to do another action like sliding, for example. If you can't tell by now, Daddy likes a more relaxed difficulty in his Mega Man games, and Mega Man 6 gets fathered nice and bricked up.
What are you doing, step bro?
I wish Mega Man 11 just looked like an HD Mega Man 8. I love how this looks like a Capcom fighting game of the same era. I actually wish that this was what 2D games look like today. The music might actually be my favorite in the series if you take nostalgia out of the equation. The CD quality sound allows for music that sounds more like something you would have heard in an arcade around the time this game came out. This game does make me nostalgic, but more for the era it came out in, because I never played the game until the Anniversary Collection came out. The difficulty is a little higher than I typically like, but the reward of getting to watch those legendary cutscenes pushes me through. There are a few puzzle areas that make you think a little more than your typical Mega Man game, but the worst parts are definitely the snowboarding sections. What pushes it over the edge in difficulty is the length of the levels, though. They're pretty long, and there are only 2 checkpoints, halfway through and right before the boss. And of course, if you lose all your lives, you have to start over from the beginning. One last gripe, the bosses are split into 2 groups of 4 like Mega Man 7. Finally, you can't talk about Mega Man 8 without addressing the cutscenes.
Hey, Zach! Well, you're a gooner! We are not enemies!
Shut up! A strange meteor has fallen to Earth just a while.
A strange meteor has fallen to Earth. I wonder if that hurts.
Who are you?
Yo, mama. Wow, someone's favorite Mega Man game is 2? And it's in large part because you played it a bunch as a kid? Yeah, I know. This game seems to be near the top of most people's lists, even if it's not number 1. The game's just fun though. Every level feels super different, which keeps the game from ever dragging. All of the music is memorable, and come to think of it, the first 6 Mega Man games probably each have larger soundtracks than most NES games in general. My favorite songs in this game are probably the intro, select screen, Bubble Man, Flash Man, Crash Man, first stage of Wily's Castle, the game is actually easy enough that I could probably beat all 8 of the main bosses with just the Buster if I had enough tries, but why do that when I could annihilate almost all of them with a Metal Blade? This is the one Mega Man game where it seems like everyone plays the bosses in their own order, in large part because of the Metal Blade probably. It's also just nice to be able to shoot in 8 directions. The one thing I would suggest though is to play on difficult mode instead of normal mode, because it's just the original difficulty from the Japanese game. And normal mode actually removes things from the game, like when you shoot this enemy here, he just dies instead of collapsing like he does in the original difficulty. I do miss being able to slide, especially in the Airman boss fight, but that's about where my complaints end with Mega Man 2. The game also ends on a high note with the alien fight. Once you beat the alien, it's revealed that he was just a hologram that Dr. Wily was controlling the whole time. It may seem like a throwaway idea now, but I can't think of a bigger twist in a video game's storyline by 1988 when this game came out. If there was, I imagine it was probably presented mostly through text or still screenshots. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I also hope you won't be too hard on me in the comments on account of me being a girl and all. Anyways, it's time for me to sign off, and I hope you have a great day.